Hello everyone, Mike Forsyth here of MGF Attorneys, Hilton, KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa. Today I want to speak to you about proving where you live for the purposes of FICA and why this is so important. South Africa signed an international protocol to try to counter money laundering and terrorism. Included in this are measures designed to prevent the use of monies from the drug trade, smuggling for the sex trade, terrorist operations, and crime syndicates. How does this affect you? Well, many institutions require you to be FICA'd for the purposes of their own internal requirements. In other words, you must be properly identified. In the case of an individual, you need to produce a copy of your identity document, a passport, or other suitable means of proving who you are. These means of identification are set out in the regulations to the Financial Intelligence Centre Act. Proof of residence is also required. This is usually done by way of a utility bill which shows your residential address and must not be more than 3 months old. This proves to be more of a vexed question when dealing with farmers or people living in rural areas where there are no street addresses available. Various methods of proving this residential address may be utilized. For example, you may be able to use an Eskom account which shows the earth or plot number. You can possibly use an extract from the deeds office records showing that this is where you live. Alternatively, you can use one of the local councillors who will call on you, identify the property, and sign an affidavit to this effect. An attorney is also what is known as an accountable institution, and he or she may also be able to visit you and sign an affidavit confirming where you live. Some banks insist that one of their members of staff performs this visit. In many instances, people who are married have proof of residence in one of their names, but the spouse has no such proof. In this instance, there is a simple affidavit to be signed by the one spouse confirming that the other spouse lives with them. Both identity documents will need to be submitted and proof of residence of the spouse who does live at the registered address. This affidavit must be signed before a commission of oaths, and both parties, as I say, must supply copies of their identity documents. There are various other rules governing the identity of companies, closed corporations and trusts, all of which have varying degrees of complexity and which must be treated slightly differently in each instance. An accountable institution has a duty to report any suspicious activity which would include accepting cash payments over a certain amount. This is currently 25,000 Rand and is also comprised of the aggregate of a series of smaller cash payments which would add up to that 25,000 Rand. So there you have it. That is why we do FICA checks, why the banks do FICA checks, why people involved in the motor industry and insurance industry all have to be FICA checked. If you need any further information, please don't hesitate to contact me at Mike Forsyth at mgfattorneys@gmail.com. mgfattorneys@gmail.com. Thank you very much for watching, and check back again.